It's Paul here up here in the AOPA Live studio, and we have some news from the industry to report to you right now. It appears that one of General Aviation's most storied brands has shut down. As first reported by the Kerrville Daily Times, Mooney International has furloughed all its employees and shuttered the factory, leaving a lot of questions surrounding it because there's no employees left to answer those. So we turn to Mooney owners to get some reaction. One of them joining us now. Jolie Lucas is on the line. She is owner of a 1965 E-model, affectionately known as Maggie, and director of the film Boots on the Ground, the men and women who made Mooney. A lot of questions, I'm sure, Jolie. What are your fellow Mooney ambassadors and Mooney owners saying today?
Well, everybody's a little bit in shock because not really having a bunch of warning about what was going on at the factory. And so our hearts and minds are really with the boots on the ground there at the factory, the men and women who made these airplanes. I know who made my airplane. I know who wired it. I know who sealed my fuel tanks. And when you know who these people are, that's where your heart really goes out to them at this time, right before the holidays.
And this isn't the first time that Mooney's been through something like this. Those folks that have worked on those airplanes for many decades are, I hate to say, used to a situation like this, but they've been through it before. Have you any sense as to how things are going to go for the brand going forward? Are they going to come back again, do you think?
I do believe they will. I know that in this market, it's a very competitive market, yet there is growth and opportunity available. In my opinion, I believe that there's opportunities available in the training market and getting a training airplane. I believe that Mooney could position itself to become a leader in that and offering a training aircraft. So we have been through this before. I'll venture a guess to say that we will find somebody who sees the vision of Al and Art Mooney, the quality, the craftsmanship, handmade in the United States of America, and producing these beautiful airplanes that hold so many speed and safety records. Again, I believe that there are a few people that are looking at possibly buying Mooney, and so my hope and my optimism is that we can get those people in Kerrville who have spent their lives working on these airplanes back to work.
And what do you think it's going to hold for parts availability and support for owners? I mean, there's a fairly significant fleet of Mooneys out there. Those of you that fly them just absolutely love them, it seems. Are you worried about parts availability?
Well, even when in 2009 and 10, when Mooney went to just a shell, I think there was a core of 9, 10, 11 people keeping the lights on at Mooney. They were still manufacturing parts for our fleet. And so we do have a system of Mooney service centers across the country that do have some parts available. And what was the information given to us was this is a short-term furlough. And so the availability of parts, while I know it's a concern for us vintage owners, I think that answer will be forthcoming. And even when we are not producing airplanes, we have been producing parts for our fleet.
So it sounds like maybe the support system is not going to be affected there. What would you tell your fellow Mooney owners right now as you all kind of comes to terms with this news?
I would say don't give up the faith. I have the honor of knowing and being friends with so many people at the Mooney factory, and I'm an honorary Texas girl. And what I know from them is the commitment to quality, to putting out a product in which we can fly safely. And they realize that our children, our families, we are on board. So what I want to say to everybody is hold tight. I do believe that there is an owner that has a vision for our company so that we can advance into some new areas and continue with our acclaim with the ultras, which definitely serve a wonderful market in general aviation. But again, my bet would be on getting into training and getting into a trainer that can compete.
All right, Jolie Lucas with the Mooney Ambassadors and director of the film Boots on the Ground, the men and women who made Mooney. Thank you for joining us, and certainly we're mindful of those at the factory here just before the holidays. We should note we have reached out to many Mooney dealers and representatives. None of them were willing to talk on the record or didn't return our calls, and there is nobody at the factory. When you call the factory, there is a voicemail message saying no one's going to be able to return your inquiry. So we're trying to get official word, but thanks to Jolie for that reaction from an owner's perspective. As you can tell, there's a solid core of fans that keep these airplanes going, and they're certainly looking to the future. And we will continue to follow this story and bring them any information that we can, again, reaching out across channels to try to get official words from the factory. I'm Paul Harrop reporting from the AOPA Live studio.